How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Hello, Charles. Welcome back. We had a quick reprieve from you, and then, of course, we can only keep that face off YouTube and Facebook for so long.
Man, already he's already attacking me.
I'm not attacking you. I'm telling you. I mean, we can only keep that face off TV for so long, man. How is that an attack?
Ah, man.
Yeah, I think that's your conscience.
It sounds like you were. You didn't miss me at all. You're shocked that I'm back.
I did miss you, Charles.
Right.
And how so I missed you. Hope you didn't miss Corey Lanieri last night. How about that segue, Charles? I could take anything that you give me and turn it into a segue. Corey Lanieri last night joined Jamie and Sean. Fun show, driving his fancy sports car there in his colorful outfit. Certainly was a good show. Indeed, Corey with some great insights into his career. If you haven't had a chance to check that show out, make sure you head on over to, you can find it right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. It's something you want to make sure you catch up on. A lot of great past episodes in there too. And, with the Kentucky Derby coming up, one that you might want to search is when we had Mike Smith on before the Kentucky Derby a few years ago. And he gave us some great insights as to what to look for when you're contemplating your picks for the Kentucky Derby. And then tonight we have on another good jockey, David Cohen. Make sure you tune in for that at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, the best way to make sure you don't miss a damn thing, Charles, is to do what?
To actually subscribe, and then make sure you hit that little bell right there so you get the alerts and notifications of when our shows are on.
Yes, indeed, when we're going to get cracking. So the important things for sure. There's no question about that. All right, you ready to take our talents to Lexington, Kentucky? Not too far for you. How far are you? About an hour and a half from Lexington?
About an hour, about an hour, 40 minutes, about that. Yeah.
Is that without traffic?
There is no traffic here in Kentucky.
That's a lie, and I'll tell you why that's a lie. See,
no, it is not a lie.
Another great segue right there. That's a lie. I was coming back from South Carolina when my son, his junior soccer team had won a President Cup national championship. That was a lot of fun. But we were driving through Kentucky, and there was by Lexington actually a very long delay on the highway. And you know what happened, Charles? Let's see if you can guess. I'll give you one guess.
Probably a truck turned over because most of the highways are out here at 2 lanes.
No, what had happened is a rattlesnake had crawled into a person's car.
Oh, jeez.
And they bit the person on the leg while they were driving. And of course, they had to, I guess the driver stopped and it totally backed up traffic as the paramedics came to give the first aid to the person who was unsuspectingly attacked by a rattlesnake in their car on the highway there. That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't me. All right, so here we go to race one. Let's see if indeed we can make race one happen. Today, race number 1 at Keeneland is a 4.5 furlong maiden special weight type. Charles, there's a purse of $80,000 in this race. There are a couple scratches in this spot, but of course, all these first-time starters and so forth, we cannot go into our simulations. We can't go into our way to the winner's circle worksheet, just basically working off the little bit of information that's made available to us. So based upon that little bit of information, we have some same horses, and at least 3 out of our 4 are the same.
Yeah. Well, for me, my top choice is going to be the 5. This horse ran even last time out. And remember, when they're babies and they run, if they run even, that's really an excellent race because they got some dirt thrown in their face. They got some bumping going on. They had to go between horses most likely. So they learned a lot in that race. Mm-hmm. So they have overcome that. And the thing is, in this race, his only race, I should say, he never changed leads. He never did. So that just took him out of the game. And Tyler's aboard this horse. So I think this horse is going to be tough to deal with today if they could get him to change leads. The 2 horses, my second choice. This horse is bred very well. Mainly, he's bred for turf. Ward gets 30% with first timers. As we all know, he's super hot at Keeneland with all the first timers and anything that's sprinting, basically. And there's a hot jockey trainer combo here for the last 14 days. The 3 horse is my third choice. The dam of this horse has 2 winners from 2 starters. Solid workouts, bred for speed. And then my final pick in this race is the 6. This horse is bred to have speed. He's got some solid works underneath him. And the jockey gets 14% overall.
And you're going to come out and try to hit it big with that pick 5 early on.
I'm going to try to hit that early pick 5. I'll take my top 3 picks here. Going with my top 2 picks and in the second leg, the third leg, top 3, fourth leg, top 3. Then I'm singling the 5th leg.
Yeah, I got away from the pick 4 and pick 5 in that sequence because the first race here, anything can happen. The next race, anything can happen. And then I think in another race in that sequence, anything can happen. So when you have 3 anything can happen races, yeah, I tend to want to stay away from those. So as far as my picks are concerned, I'm going to start off in the first race with the 3 horse in here. That one is, let me page up here real quick, More Kinetic. The reason I like More Kinetic, if you look at the 2 horse Blue Eyed Soul, which is that Wesley Ward favorite, you can see 7-5 morning line. They pretty much have the same workouts, the 3 and the 2. But maybe the 3 horse More Kinetic, its workouts were a little bit more consistently fast. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of upset there. If not, that heavy favorite Wesley Ward horse will be ready to go. Got some good works for that first-time starter. I do think there's a very good chance it'll be overbet because right now it is about 4-5. And the tough spot taking a 4-5 in a field full of horses where most of them have never done anything. Number 6, Dumphy, also has very similar workouts that you see with the 2 horse and a 3 horse, but the jockey and the trainer are struggling. And then finally, a little bit of a shot in here, maybe with that 8 horse. I'm going to take, Gewurz Ramanier. I think I got that right. 20-1 shot in here. As another one that has a lot of good workouts in here. And if it did not have such a struggling jockey trainer combination, I might have moved it into second or third place in there. But I'm going to do a try 2-3-6 with the 2-3, with the 2-3-5, 6, and 8, Charles. To start off, Keeneland today in this 8 race card. We have approximately 4 minutes to race number 1. So we'll do race 2 real fast, Charles. And then we'll go about describing what we see for race number 1. 5.5 furlongs turf, another maiden special weight race of $100,000. Purse is $100,000. The profile of a winner at 5.5 furlongs. 9 races so far, most of which have been won by stalkers, although 2 of 9 did go wire to wire. None have scored from the rail. 2 and 3 struggle. If you go 4 and out, you get a little bit of a bonus. So it looks like outside's a little better than inside. In this case, Charles, we actually could do a little bit of our simulations. A lot of horses to look at, but it looks like liquid addiction, otherwise called alcoholism, is a one that's likely to get the lead.
Yeah, he's got a 56% chance of having that lead. I do believe he'll be out in the lead, but I also believe that I think the 12 be right there sitting second. But with this chart here, we're looking at the 3 might be pushing it too. That one does have some speed to go. When it comes to simulations odds, we have looks like the 11, slightly under 4-1. You got 8-1 morning line, and then you got the 12 just slightly under even money, and you got 2-1 on the morning line.
And our C-Zone says that these 2 horses here, along with the 8 horse, say it out loud, they have the best scores for C-Zone. We had a really nice yesterday at Parks. There was a C-Zone trifecta for 50 cents to pay $225, where the top 3 horses came in. So we're learning really how to use this concept from day to day. And here, the 11 horse Liquid Addiction does have the best early speed, C-Zone, and overlay, although the 12 horse in there too, nice overlay with the strong C-Zone score. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 2, we do see the race shape here. Got a bunch of them that want to be up on front. They have shown speed. Looking at them, according to the 11 and the 16 and the 1 are first-time starters. But it looks like that 11 horse, which is the EP type, can be on the lead or play co-pilot, has a pretty good advantage over a few others in here. So it could be very tightly contested up top. And in the run for home, it looks like that 12 horse Charging not only will be a part of the early speed, but does have some late legs to go with it, along with the 11. Those 2 grade out as the 2 that are most likely to run a most complete race, although the 5 sneaks in there too. So the 11, the 12, and the 5 should run races from beginning to end that give them a chance to win. Let's see, early on for Melvin Torres, the pick 5 he likes. Charles, while I walk through some of these, post these bets, tell us about your picks for race number 2.
All right, yeah. In race number 2, I like the 12 because I think he has the speed to sit second and take over at the end. Cox gets 25% second time on grass, and this horse also is cutting back a distance. The 11 horse is going to have the speed. I think this one will be out front. This one's bred for the turf, well bet last time. The dam has 3 winners from 6 starters, and the 3 winners are all won on turf, so that's a big key. The 5 here is my third choice. Ran second last time out, has some speed to keep up, bred for the turf. And then the 3 is my final choice here, is my price horse. It's got some of that tactical speed. Ran third last time out. Ward gets 27% when he rests them up 46 plus days.
And your $5 exact, the box 11, 12 for Charles. Yep. Melvin Torres, Zoids, he comes out swinging with his pick 5s too. In race 1, 1, 2, 5. Race 2, 5, 11, 12. Race 3, singling up the 3. Race 4, 3, 8, 9. Race 5 coming home with the 2 and the 4. In the second spot, Scary Creations, another one that's usually spot on with his thoughts. Says he likes Alibi Ike in the second race here. Chance to maybe get some decent odds on Wesley Ward. Long shot 8, Say It Out Loud, came in second here last year at 33-1. I am going to start with the 11 horse in here, Liquid Addiction. I have my own Liquid Addiction, water, Gatorade, Mountain Dew. Unfortunately, I stopped the stuff that is 80 proof a long time ago. But Liquid Addiction is cutting back from 6 furlongs to 5.5 furlongs. I think the cutback helps. Was the almost 2-1 favorite in its debut. Has 3 nice workouts since. 12 charging, top last race speed figure by a big margin. Most will either have to up their games considerably or charging regresses. Number 16, Beer Run. This is the Wesley Ward horse I like in here. First-time starter. Wesley wanted to be in this race for a reason. It's a $460,000 horse, not a cheapie in here. With that money, they paid for very good turf breeding, some of the best turf breeding in this race. Does have a few okay workouts. And then Alibi Ike, a ton of good workouts since his last race. Improved in its 2 races following the debut. Continued improvement here makes him beyond dangerous. I'm going to go trifecta 11, 12, and 16 with the 11, 12, with the 3, 8, 11, 12, and 16 in race number 2. Back to race number 1 with our picks with all these first-time starters, Charles.
We're halfway down the stretch right now.
Are they? And who's got the W, looks like here? It looks like the 4 horse. The 2 horse is going to get that lead. The winner, the favorite. I don't know. That 4 horse is right on it. 4 is going to get him, Charles. 4 has got him.
4 is going to get him. Yep.
Commissioner Dan at is it 20? What was Commissioner Dan?
11-1.
11-1 from 30-1. So somebody knew something at the track. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and then the 8 finished third.
The 8 finished third. That was the other one in that. Grusama.
Gewürztraminer.
Yeah, that's why to me, man, these are some tough races to do. You also see which one out there, the green horse, is that the 9 horse, just ran about 5,000 miles wide all the way around the track.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it was a pretty tough race in there, I think. But for the most part, I mean, you look at it, the 4, it went 4, 2, 8, and then I think the 6 maybe finished 5th. 4, 2, 8, and then it looks like the 3 horse came up.
Was that the 3 on the inside of that 8? I can't tell. I think it was though.
4, 2, 8, 3. I mean, for the most part, we around all the horses there. Even then, the 6 finished 5th. So the only one we missed on that was the 4 horse, unfortunately. Yeah. But we kind of missed that one. C-Zone 90 for Say It Out Loud. Interesting. Yeah, going back to race number 2 with that C-Zone score, Say It Out Loud, and 90. So it's going to get, and again, these are a lot of horses that haven't run a whole lot. So if you're new around here, the C-Zone score is a creation. It is exclusive to us. We haven't sold it to anybody yet. Somebody comes knocking for the right price, we'll give it to you. It's going to have 2 commas necessary, though. But in any case, what it does is it takes a look at where the horses are likely to be and the pace at the quarter-mile marker. And based upon that pace at the quarter-mile marker, if the horse is going to be inside or outside its comfort zone. The higher the score, the more likely it's going to be a trip that favors that horse's running style. So indeed, Say It Out Loud with the highest C-Zone score in race number 2. In race number 3, we'll also take a look at the C-Zone scores for this 1 1/16 on that main track. at 1.16 Charles, of course, they haven't run a whole lot of races at the meet yet, but so far, what we've seen is early speed wins about 25% of the time, a tick more than that. They go wire to wire. Very strong inside 3 and 8 out. 4 through 7, they have definitely been dinged by the post position draws. Of course, I'm going to start with one that's inside that, Charles, but in the danger zone.
Yeah.
In race number 3, our simulations tell us that the one is out, first of all, but it does look like that 3-horse Wolf County is going to be fast as fast.
Yes, 54% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole is that number 3 horse. Yeah, that horse has got some speed, and I think that one will be out there winging it. You got a couple horses that might pressure him. You know, the 4 and the 5, with the 5 of it 19%, and the 4 with 10. Then when it comes simulation odds, we have that 3 even money, and the morning line is 2-1. And then we have the 5 itself 6-1, and the morning line is 15-1. Not a bad overlay there.
And then C-Zone score, High Heater. That guy, High Heater, is going to have probably a trip that's very favorable. Also a good shot to get on the lead and an overlay. Usually, I mean, it might not add up to a winner, but I cannot tell you how many times that combination adds up to a horse that ends up in the money. So let's take a look at the way to the winner's circle in terms of what horses have preferred. They're preferred. The 4 and the 6, they want to be on the lead. They want to be pilots. The 3 and the 7, they want to be co-pilots. So let's see who will actually likely be on the lead. That 4 horse and the 6 horse. Those two should definitely pull the cart. The 3 in there. The 2 horse, a pressure closer type. But a little bit of a gap back there. As far as late pace is concerned, High Heater has some high energy at the end of the race. Also has the top score in terms of early pace, late pace combination. So High Heater in a lot of different ways factors as a factor in this race, Charles. Where does he factor in your picks? Not at all. You might be regretting that when they hit the finish line.
I never regret my picks. Never. I have the 2 on top here. This horse won last time out. I believe personally there's a jockey upgrade here. Hartman.
But Irad's struggling there right now.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
When I first saw this, I had a little dyslexia. I thought it said Irad the Blessed. And then I said, oh my God, Irad has to be riding this horse. And then I looked and I'm like, oh man, that's quite the omen there. And then I realized it says, I'd rather be blessed.
Blessed. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess if you just glance at it, I guess you could. Yeah, you're right. Hartman is the trainer, and he gets 25% when the horse won last time out. Hartman's an excellent trainer, and he knows how to get them ready. The 6 horse is my second choice here. This is one of them that has some speed. If you toss out last one, that makes him really dangerous. The trainer gets 17%, 46 plus days, and you got Tyler aboard. And then the 3 is my third choice. Now, this one has that speed as our charts show, as a 54% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. You know, if he doesn't get the lead, he will be sitting right there second, I believe. He ran, this is his second start after a layoff, and the trainer gets 20% at that angle, by the way. And you got a hot jockey last 7 days on him. And then the 4 is my final choice here. He won last time out. He has some speed to keep up with them. The trainer gets 20% first after the claim, which makes him very dangerous in this spot.
In the third, I am going to start off with the 6 horse. As I mentioned, I, of course, want to go in the dead zone post position wise. Mia Comment, best numbers at the distance. There's no question about that. Tyler G is killing it at Keeneland. Probably wishes he could ride there, I'd say, all year round.
Yeah.
And this one's been facing tougher than anybody else in this track, in this race consistently, and performing very well against them. Number 3, Wolf County. That one has the ability to be the pace setter here. The lone win came in the second start after a layoff, just like today. Number 5, High Heater. Sim says you have to have this one as a big overlay, top Z-zone score, and also the top EP late pace combination. Nice odds there, 15-1, Charles. Let's see if he indeed can make good on all that data. And then finally, I'd rather be blessed instead of Irad the Blessed. Did tie for the top last race speed figure. Concerned that Irad, as we mentioned, has not had the best meet so far, and its maiden win came at maiden claiming 30,000, which is actually one of the lowest in the field. And when we had on Steve Matthews from Newsday on the old Players Edge podcast, he had mentioned that one of the things he likes to look at these horses that have 1 or 2 wins is where did they break their maiden? Because a lot of times the horses that break their maiden at the highest level, they tend to have the most class. And a lot of times that shows up in races like this. And with that $30,000 maiden claiming win, that's one of the lowest class maiden wins. So I don't know if Irad can turn that around or not, Charles, but I'm going to do a trifecta anyway with the 3-5-6, with the 3-6, with the 2-3-4-5 and 6. And of course, in horse racing, there is no single pure handicapping angle that hits at 100%.
Sure.
The one thing that does hit at 100% though is to be prepared, right? If you're prepared, at least, because there's times when I lose races, Charles, and I look at it and I try to find a reason for it and just come up with the fact that, there's no way I was going to have that horse under any condition. It's horse racing. I just got beat, kind of like a closer in baseball who thinks he threw the third strike. It gets called a ball, and then the next one, they hit a home run.
Yeah. And plus, there is some races that you're handicapping, and even you're telling yourself, my 3 or 4 picks are not, I don't feel super comfortable with. There's another 4 picks right behind it that could do it. And usually sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I don't try to think like that, because I've found I go through my handicapping, because I found if I 5-star a race, right, and I 1-star another one, I find a lot of times if I do my handicapping and I go through the same, system over and over again, I'm just as likely to be right on the 5-star one as I am on the 1-star one. And a lot of times the 1-star ones are the ones where it's a more muddled picture and end up with the bigger payouts.
Correct.
And a lot of times too, like we saw last Saturday and the other day here on Monday at Parks, when we had that really big favorite Disco Ebo, and we had that other big favorite at Keeneland last Saturday. They look unbeatable on paper, and then somehow they always get beat. So I'm going to make a new rule. If I have a horse that looks unbeatable, I'm at best going to put it second from now on. In any case, in race number 4, they're going to run a mile on the turf. Allowance, the turf is firm. Allowance, 1,000. English, Richard, $110,000. Not one races other than the maiden claiming or starter, which have never won 2 races. And again, this goes back to that Steve Matthews angle where you're talking about class. At 1 mile on the turf course, Charles, so far, they've run 7 races, mostly won by horses that are close to the front, not necessarily on the front, 3rd, 4th, maybe in there, but 2 did go wire to wire. And every single win came from posts 2 through 7 in all of those races. Our simulated odds and our early pace numbers, according to our simulations, tell us that the speed horse Bodge is going to be on the sidelines.
Yeah. That one's going to be gone. So that means probably the 2 most likely will have the lead. But now I think maybe even the 1 might take the lead. The 2's got 23%. 1's got 19% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. Because, some of that 30% that Bodge had is going to be spread out for the other horses. Yeah. When it comes to the simulation odds themselves, you got the 1 slightly over 7-1. You got 20-1 morning line. That's a good overlay there. And then let me see. We got the 8 at just under 2-1, and we got 8-1 morning line. That's a nice overlay. Mm-hmm. And that's about it.
Would have liked to see a better C-zone score on the policy option, to be honest with you, to match up with that simulated odds.
Yeah.
The favorite there looks like the odds might be a little spiked, but it does have the top C-zone score. Should be an interesting race in terms of how it plays out. How it's played out previously, our pace setup, you don't have a pure early burner or one that wants to play co-pilot or early burn. All of them want to play co-pilot. They'd rather let somebody else take the lead. It looks like Gamer might be the one. That is the 2-horse back here. It's a closer. That means it's what I call a left arrow horse. A left arrow horse is one that typically is towards the back of the pack in its winning efforts, but its typical early pace is going to put it closer to the front. That means it can capitalize on its late run ability. But in this case, the policy option and catnip have a little bit more edge to them in the end. Put it all together, and it looks like Gamer could be one that does run a race that's difficult to compete with. That left arrowness might play out to its advantage. Charles, how do you see it?
For me, I I still had the 3. I didn't catch that. Oh wait, it was the 5
No,
that
it's the
was
five. That's correct. You're
because I
all
was
right.
thinking of
You're
the other
you're
race.
good.
Okay, I'm good. All right. So anyway, for me, the 7 is my top choice here. This horse won last time out. I think he's got enough speed to stay with them, sit in that
Are you a
catbird.
little bit worried that there's all that speed to its inside?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, on that aspect. But like you said, it went the post what 2 through 7, right? Has
Mm-hmm.
won every time.
Yeah,
So
and you do have a little bit of an early turn. So, I mean, if speed matters, I
mhm.
have him on top too, but I'm a little concerned with all that speed to the
that
inside.
that would be my only concern in this. That's why I'm thinking he's going to be sitting in the catbird seat.
Hmm.
If he was closer in, I think he'd be sitting second or first all the way around. And this is his second start after a layoff, and of course you get Tyler, the top jock there right now riding. The 9 is my second choice here. We got tactical speed. The trainer gets 23%, 90 plus days off. Cuts back in distance. You got a hot jockey the last 7 days, and the number one thing is first time gelding.
Yes,
So
I know. If I were gelded the next time out, I know I would run like hell because I would want to keep all my fingers and toes.
what's next, right?
Yes.
The 2 is my third choice here. This horse won last time out. Walsh gets 20% when he goes from maiden to the a winning race for claimers or allowance,
Hmm.
and it's this horse is bred for turf, so that makes this horse a little on the dangerous side. And then the 3 is my final pick here. This horse ran second last time out. Trainer gets 11%, 90 plus days, and this horse has got some of that tactical speed to sit right there as close as he can and try to make one big run.
I'm out with you. The 7 exact estimate. Won his first try on turf. Every single race, the horse has gotten incrementally better in its short-lived career. Yeah, I don't know that 7-5 are the right odds. Maybe should be a little higher. Maybe 9-5, 2-1, somewhere in that range, be a little bit fairer. Our sim odds say should be 23-1. I think that's a little off because the lack of depth in the data. Number 9, Catnip. As you examine its in race numbers, it either runs very brilliantly early or very brilliantly at the end. So the first half is either brilliant or the second half is brilliant. If he ever connects the two, I think the horse could be a really strong, high-class horse. I think it could have the most potential in this field. The 8-horse Policy Option is the top overlay in the simulated odds. Most consistent performer on the field as well. So you're going to get a good effort out of that Policy Option. And then finally, number 2, Gamer. Charles, your third pick, my fourth pick. Absolutely a horse that will be picking them up and putting them down as they head for the finish line. The only question for me is the all-weather to turf. We know that most of the time that's an easy transition for horses. And they did run the maiden special weight win last time out. But I do like to see horses coming off the maiden win moving up with the top last race speed figure. It's the Gamer did not achieve that. Nonetheless, trifecta for me. I think the 7 and the 9 are your 2 best horses in here. With the 7, 8, 9, a little bit of a price with the sim favorite. And then 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Probably too many horses on the back end there for me, but I'm sure that Terry will let me know if I overspent my $100 budget. In any case, all right. So let's look. How long are we off to race number 2, Charles?
We got plenty of time. 14 minutes.
All right, beautiful. So we might even make it through the entire card. Race 5 is another one of these 4.5 furlong maiden special weight types for $80,000. 4.5 furlong type races. Believe it or not necessarily on the front. Tactical speed is best. We saw tactical speed win that first one there. Only 1 out of 5 have gone wire to wire. None have won from the rail. That didn't change in the last one. 2 wins from post 2 through 7, and all of the other ones came from 8 and out. Now we also have a third win from post number 4 in that opener there. Charles, again, we can't do any simulations because many of these are making their first start. So based upon the workouts, the information that's available, who you got?
Yeah, it was kind of hard to get away from the 2, I think. The 2 was super well bred. Ward gets, as we all know now, 30% first timers. If you look at that, the workouts underneath this horse, Very good, solid foundation. Johnny V's on aboard, so you know, I think the only thing would have been better if they would have put Tyler on it, and it would have been like, see ya. I mean,
Yeah,
but
then instead of being what's the morning lines on that one, like 4 to 5?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably less than that.
Instead of
Yeah,
that, it would be 1 to 5 morning line
yeah,
odds. So they probably wanted to get some odds.
some odds at least. So I mean, it's really tough to overlook that horse 100%. The one I think could be a little dangerous. This horse, Dam, has one winner from 2 starters. This horse is bred for speed. Trainer gets 14% with first timers, and it's got some solid works underneath. So check that horse out a little bit. The 4 horse is my third pick here.
Won the last one at 30 to 1. Why not this time around? Let's see if the odds go to 11 to 1 again.
Well, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, this horse ran 4th last time. I mean, it's only time really, and it got bumped at the start. So, you know, and the horse is bred for speed. So, I mean, that ain't a bad, race. Like I said, if they could split the field and run pretty even in their first race and learn a lot of things, they're pretty dangerous the next time out. The 11 is my third choice. I mean, fourth choice. Bred to win early. Asmussen gets 13% with first timers, and there you go. Now you got Tyler aboard a horse. So it makes this horse a little dangerous, but it's kind of hard to overlook the 2 a little bit.
Yeah, and these races I would, much like in the first race, pay attention to the odds board. See if maybe some of these long shots like that 4 horse get bet down, not necessarily to the favorite status, but you saw that 4 horse go from 30 to 1 to 11 to 1. So clearly somebody out there knew something and put some money on that one. Yeah. So you like the 2 horse Barb Taraj, which is that Wesley Ward horse, 4 to 5. Last week you spoke about a beast horse at the track for Wesley Ward. It didn't turn out to be a beast. Maybe they were talking about this one because all the workouts are good. But if you like the workouts for Barb Taraj, you also got to like what you see from the number 1 horse, Bright Work. The April 16th and the April 3rd works are really fast. So I'm going to take the 8 to 1, even though the rail hasn't won yet, but still not that many races to say that the rail is completely dead. The 8 horse, Tatiana's Dream. You got to be careful with that one. Some really good workouts for the 8 horse as well in here. And the mama has 1 stakes winner and 4 starters and 2 others. So 3 out of 4 of the mama's babies went on to win. You're going to get 30 to 1 odds. Again, keep an eye on that one. Those workouts are pretty sharp too. If the odds come down on that one, maybe there's a little something going on. Finally, the 5 horse Unmatched. This one, the last workout, was a bullet. That's the bullet and go angle. If you haven't done so yet, I would strongly encourage you, if you're a data person like I am, to buy Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. Just about everything you can think of, he did data analysis on and told you what the winning percentages are. Great book to get. So Bullet and Go has a quartet of 3 furlong workouts. And that tells me that they want to get this horse out in a hurry. They're definitely aiming to be a part of the early speed here, Charles. And if they can, the only question is stamina without any longer workouts. But I would guess you talk about those licks. So if you're a trainer and you're putting a bunch of 3 furlong workouts, published workouts, what are you doing in between them to make sure the horses have the stamina just to make it another furlong and a half?
Oh, I'd definitely be doing what they call a 2-minute lick, which is a mile gallop, a strong gallop mile. So you're trying to get it under 2 minutes, which most of the time they could do no problem. And that's just putting the foundation and it's expanding their lungs a little bit better and everything like that. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing between those 3 furlong works.
So I'm going to do a pick 4 in here. I'm hoping to beat that 4 to 5 favorite. Got quite a few horses in here. 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 11, over to 4, 9, over to 2, 5, 6, over to 5, 3, 7. Key to the payout here is going to be catching a nice price in this first leg, because if we can do that, we can knock out a lot of people. I'd imagine a lot of people are going to single that 2 horse. In the 6th race, they're going to go back to running 5.5 furlongs, on the turf, of course. 5.5 furlongs, as we mentioned earlier, does favor stalkers, although 2 out of 9 went wire to wire. The rail is yet to win a race in the 9 at the distance. Outside of that, 2 and 3 also struggle. 4 and out, that's where all the action has been, Charles. So you want some tactical speed in race number 6. According to our simulator, there's plenty of horses in here that have tactical speed.
Yeah, I mean, first you got to look at the 9. The 9's got a 42% chance of having the lead. but I personally don't think he has to have the lead. So the 2 is another one that's got a 30% chance of having that lead. And, that might be the horse that might get out there. And then, of course, you got a couple other horses, the 1 and the 7, that might push them along as they go. And when it comes to simulation odds, we're looking at that 4, just slightly under 4-1. And we got 6-1 morning line, not bad. And the 5 itself, just slightly over 2-1. We got 10-1 morning line, so that's not too bad itself either.
Yeah, and the C-Zone score favors the 2, Johnny Unleashed, bomb. So maybe that one can clean up the back end of the superfecta, maybe even the trifecta. That 9 horse over here, Bound for Nowhere, another one, a 2-5 favorite in here, Charles. Big chance to be on the lead, going to get a pretty good trip. The odds, of 2-5 are probably a little too low, but still grades out as one of the favorites in this race. And in as far as the race shape is concerned, in race number 6, the 2 horse is an E horse, the lone E horse, the P horse being the 1. So you got a pilot with the 2 and the co-pilot with the 1. The 3, 7, and 9 are very versatile types. So let's see who's going to actually get that lead. Looks like Bound for Nowhere, the PC type, can get the lead if it wants, along with Infinite, but still plenty of competition. You see all but 2 horses. The 2 horse, the one that wants the lead, has one of the worst. So maybe it gets out there as a rabbit for everybody to chase and then fades off at the end. At the end, the 5 horse Purple Dream has a 10-point advantage over everybody else. It will be trucking as they're coming down the lane here to see who can finish up the strongest. And then the 5 and the 9 grade out a little bit better than everybody else in terms of their complete race picture. Charles, take us through your complete picks.
First, I'm going to start with the 9. I think this horse is going to be the most versatile in this race. Could be on the lead. I think personally he'll be sitting second or third, taking around and let someone else do all the hard work. Ward gets 26% when the horse has been off for 90+ days. There's a drop in class here today. He cuts back in distance. Rosario's aboard. A lot of great positives for this horse. Then it comes to my second pick. My second pick is a little unusual here. Neil Drysdale ships this horse in from California to here. Why? I mean, other than it's just
had nothing else to do.
Well, I mean, this is not a stakes horse, so I mean, in a sense. So tactical speed. Drysdale gets 10% with 46+ days. I'm gonna tell you right now, Neil Drysdale, Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's much better than his numbers are stating. Blinkers are back on today for this horse, and you got some solid works for this horse. So I think that's the sneaky horse in the whole race. The 4 horse in this race is my third choice. One last time out, Trainer gets 21%, 46+ days rest. Saez is aboard, hot jockey for this track. And then the 7 is my final pick in this race. And my price horse ran third last time out. Trainer gets 27%, 46+ days off. You got a hot jockey and trainer combo in the last 14 days with that horse.
And you're going to double up with that Neil Drysdale horse, huh?
Yeah, because I figured, you can't double up. I mean, do a double with the 9 because the 9 is going to be such low odds. It'd be pathetic. So my best bet is the next race. So what I'm going to do is go with a little bit of a price horse. I think it's a little scary in this race. Do a $5 daily double.
I think Bound for Nowhere, looking at its class, I mean, coming out of a bunch of graded stakes races, clearly been facing the toughest class of this race. For sure. At Keeneland has had success, 6 races, 3 wins, a second, a third at the distance, in the money 7 out of 8 times, winning half of them. So clearly the horse to beat. It's tough to back a 2-5 type. So the next one for me up on the board is the 4 horse, Our Shot. It's a neck away from winning 3 in a row and 4 of its last 5 races. So it's going to be coming from off the pace. But if you look at the early pace, I don't think this one's going to be all that far away from the front with these. So has a good shot to be well positioned and then take advantage of the sim overlay odds. Infinite, the 7, is a Wesley Ward horse in here too. Catches a weight break today, and one that has won half of its races at the distance, 3 out of 6 with a third in there as well. And finally, the Purple Dream, that 5 horse, really nice overlay as well. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Again, going back to that Barry Meadows, one of those statistics that I call alpha. angle, wins at 15% or more. And the record says that this horse has got a good shot to improve Watts' last effort in the second start after a layoff. Yeah, trifecta for me again, 4-9, 4-7-9 with the 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. We have time, Charles, to make it to race number 7, I think.
We got 3 minutes.
All right, so let's go fast then in race number 7. Race 7 is 6 furlongs, claiming 50,000 non-winners of 2 in a lifetime. At 6 furlongs, you're typically looking for a horse that has early speed. 4 out of the 12 races that have been run at the meet were won wire to wire. You have a barbell approach to bias. Post 1 and 8 and out have a bonus. 2 through 3 have played fair. 4 through 7, for whatever reason, again, have not performed that well. And of course, you and I both are going to start off there. But in race number 7, the early speed belongs to the 4 horse.
Yeah, the 4 horse has got a 54% chance having the lead at the quarter pole. But I think the 5 might have a say in that. I think the 5 either will take the lead before the quarter pole or take it right after the quarter pole. So the 5 has a 21% chance. And you also have that 2 that might push them along. Simulation odds, you got the 1 slightly over 2-1, and the morning line is 4-1. And then the 5, well, just slightly under even money, but the morning line slightly over even money. So it's about where it should belong.
Yeah, it looks like that to me. You got the 1 horse is the only one here. If you look at all these numbers, this one has a 3% chance, almost 4% chance to get the lead. It means if it runs this particular style, it could get on the lead. Anyone with a number on there, anyone that looks like it's probably not going to compete for the lead is the 1 horse. See if the 1 horse is indeed a closer in that mix. The 1 horse is actually a pressure type. So you probably want to see that one a little bit more forwardly placed than it looks like it's going to be. So according to the early speed, that goes to that 4 horse. But everybody minus the 1 really closely tied together. The 4 horse looks like it will tail off. So maybe that cheap early speed on that E-type. Late pace goes to 1 Giant Leap. And then finally, connection combo. 1 Giant Leap, pressure horse, maybe sits second or third, uses the late legs to come home as your winner. Charles, what do you say?
Yeah, I like the 5. This horse won last time out. Well bet last time. Second start after a layoff. Ward gets 32% at that angle. Great angle for him. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think you should reach in your pocket and claim this horse. This could be a good claim in this race. And then the 6 horse. This horse drops in class today. You got some tactical speed with this horse. He could sit, but he's more on the closing side of it. Trainer gets 17%, 46 plus days rest. Tyler's aboard. And you know what? You could even claim this one.
Yeah, claim them both.
Another nice
Spending my money like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, those are the top 2 horses I would claim in these races. The 2 is my third choice. This horse should be closing at the end. I think he was claimed last time out. Wong gets 30% with first time after the claim. That's a good angle for him. And then the 1 horse is my price horse. Drops in class, tossed that last race, and he should be closing at the end. Trainer gets 15% with 90 plus days rest.
And you got the strong C-zone overlay combination on 7 flat, the 1 horse that I don't have that I'm probably going to wish I did have. But I'm going to start with that 6 horse, Dog Red. It is the top maiden winner. We talked about that again as an indication of class. If you like the Wesley Ward favorite, that 5 horse, you got to like this one too, because it actually had better Turfway Park numbers than 1 Giant Leap, who won last time out at Turfway Park. Second after a layoff, catching a little bit of weight break. And in that first race after a layoff, 1 Giant Leap showed better internal race numbers from beginning to end. The 2 horse, Gold Luck, as you mentioned, Jonathan Wong, making his home now on the East Coast, or at least in the Midwest. 30% winner when he runs a horse out after claiming it. The last 2 workouts since Mr. Wong took over have been pretty nice. Finally, the 4 horse, Libertango, was a tough call over that 1 horse for me, Charles, admittedly. But I think that one has a chance to be up on the lead. It is the lone E-type. Should get a nice trip as well with one of the top C-zone scores. Trifecta 2-5-6 with the 5-6 with the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
I have a 20 to win on the 5 itself.
In the second race, the 10 horse Scratched. So he's out late. The home run Hank taking a trip to the sidelines. Didn't look like he was going to be much of a factor anyway, but he's out. Wasn't going to be part of the early speed. Didn't look like he had a shot in terms of overlay. One less horse to worry about. As they go into the gates, it looks like the 11 and 12 are co-favorites at 3-1. Next up on the board, I think, is the 5 horse, which is also 3-1. Monet Never. And neither one of us have the Monet Never at 3-1. It does look like it has a small shot to get the lead. Could get a decent trip. And guess what? The gate is open, and here they go. And early on, you got a wall of horses across the top, but it does look like the 12 horse, I think, emerged as the leader, Charles.
Yeah.
With the 16 to the outside, that Wesley Ward horse in there that came in at the end. The 5 horse, one of the co-favorites there, is on the rail third. A little bit of a gap then to the 4, the 8, and the 11, as they should post the mile marker numbers. Yeah, 21 and 53. Maybe a little on the fast side for 5.5 furlongs.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit quick, but looks to me like the 5 horse is going to go by the 12 horse right now. 16 horse is also a part of the mix, but the 12 horse is still hanging on to the lead. That 11 horse is going to have its work cut out trying to come from 5 wide to get the W. 12 is holding on right now. The 11 is making a charge, trying there. The 16 is hanging in there. I think the 16 might close in for second. Looks to me, the 11 horse is going to come in for second. So the 12 horse is your runaway winner, Charles, on that. Question is, who's going to finish second? Do you get your exacta or not? It's going to go 12. Ugh, good luck.
Oh, God.
I don't know who finished second, Charles.
I have no idea either.
But your 12 is your winner. I don't think the 11 came in second, though, however, Charles, because it was running wide. I will probably
agree with you on that, but boy.
I'm going to guess it was.
That was
it looks
solid 4 horses there.
I think it's going to be the 8 horse, it looks like to me, because that one's the one that was coming up. Yeah, it's going to be the 8 horse. The 5 horse faded. And it looks like you got the 16 in the middle. Yeah, I wish the 11 finished second because I would have had the trifecta. I think it's going to be the 8 horse, Charles, in there.
Okay,
Say it loud. That high, the highest C-zone score horse in there. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it went 12, 8, 16 is my guess.
I wish that they'd show the slow motion and, instead of the 12 winning by himself, all by himself there.
That's my guess. 12, 8, 16, or maybe the 3. I think the 16 and the 3 were battling it out.
I don't know. Be honest, there was so many. There was at least 4, if not 5.
And if you looked at it, the 12 horse was your second favorite, was your top overlay, right? So you had the high C-zone score. You had the overlay. You had a nice overlay, too, because it was supposed to be maybe 4-5. Went off at 5-2, so you got paid to play that horse. The 8 horse, who I do think finished second, was your top C-zone score. So let's see who finished third.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
Yeah, I think it went maybe the 16 horse, the beer run, but I'm not sure. I think it's either the 16 or the 3. I don't think it was the 11 because the 11 was the farthest wide, and I think it kind of tailed off at the end, but I could be completely wrong.
Was he the farthest wide? Wasn't that the 16 that went the farthest wide?
No, I think the 11 was outside of the 16 and then started to fade
I think those two were next to each other, I think.
Because the 16 had made its move to come on up. What do you guys think? I know the 12 won. What does anybody else think? I think it is the 8 that's second. I'm not 1,000% sure, but 8, 7-1. 12, 8. Oh, 12, 8, 11. 16, and then 11. Oh, man. And the sad thing is, I had them all right here, Charles. Look, the 8 was in my picks too. It was my next pick on there. I'm 1 pick away from having a superfecta. Damn it. Anyway, that's the hard part about it. And I've been kind of in that rut lately too, with the picking the right horses, just not lining up the tickets correctly. Any case, Charles, if I had gone 11, 12, 11, 12, 16, which is what I usually do, 2 by 3 by 2, then I would have gotten it. But, if is a big word, right?
Yeah, well, I tried to get that exacta.
Yeah, well, I tried to get the trifecta. And again, I thought that these races were going to be a little bit muddled early on. Hopefully they're not as muddled later on. The last race of the day is one of the few of the year, Charles, that they run at 1.5 miles. Looks like they run them all.
Okay, this is what I found out. There's 29 1.5 races that are stake races. So every track, they could probably still make other races. So there's only 29 stake races that are a mile and a half.
All right. Well, this one's not a stakes race. It's an allowance. 120 grand, non-winners of 2. Purse is $120,000. And so far they've run 3 of these. 2 of them went wire to wire. The other one was way off the pace. Post position, 2 of the 3 winners were on the rail. The other came from post 4 through 7. In terms of the early speed and the final race of the day, Charles, it looks to me like you got, plenty of them that are going to try.
Yeah,
I think all of them are going to try, because the 2 that weren't going to try are not even in the race.
Well, yeah. I mean, they all have shown in their past somewhere that they've shown some speed in a long distance race. The 3 horse has got the 26% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole. And then you got the 5 horse at 21, the 7 at 23%. It's going to be probably one of those 3. I personally think it's going to be the 7, but it's going to be tough to say. Then when it comes to simulation odds, I have the 3 here has got 3-1, and the morning line is 8-1. So that's a nice overlay.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 slightly under 2-1. You got morning line of 4-1, not too bad. And that's about it when it comes to simulation odds.
And the 4 horse Lady Arsenault. Lady Arsenault. When it looks like a 6-1 might be a little bit too low in the odds, but I'll take 99-1 if it wins. But looks like it's going to be the most comfortable of all of them as they run around the track. Charles, looks like that 5 horse Lady Stars. That one wants to be up on the front. Let's see if it can have a shot to do that. I don't know. It looks to me like, they all have a crack in there, except for maybe the 3, the 2, and the 4. Those look like they'll be a little bit off the pace, but when the race comes to a close, the 4 at least will get in the mix. Lady Arsenault as well. It's the top late pace numbers. Again, minus Bravo Kitten. All of them have pretty similar late pace. Put together all of the above, and this one looks like the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 9. That quartet has a good shot. I think I'm going to be surprised to see the winner come in there at all. You need to remove the left column with the numbers. It makes it look like those horses' number. Which one are you talking about? Right here? This column here? That is the horse's number. Over here. Is this the column you're talking about right here? That is actually the horse's number. The 2, Monsieur Wood. The 3, Lady Airstone. I'm not sure, Bob. Can you please tell me which column are you talking about on this sheet over here, race number 8? Because this is the horse's number as well. And that's why they're colored like that. So if you can let me know which one you're referring to, because we always take positive input and try to make the best of it. For the left. On the left. On which?
Far left.
Far left. Far left. Here's the horse's number. And on this one, the far left. Oh, you mean on this part over here? You're talking about this here with this? This is actually the horse's number. The spreadsheet column in green. Spreadsheet column in green. Are you talking about over here? That's on the right. The column to the left.
That over there, yeah. That's just, number of columns. That's it. No big deal there.
You mean right here?
No, I would say all the way, where the E-type 5 off to the left of that. I think that's what he's talking about.
Is there something to the left of that?
There's numbers on the sides there, yeah. 1, 2, 3,
I don't see that on my screen.
Yeah, it's there.
Is it there? I honest to God, I don't see. Oh, you mean over here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just I don't. That's just that I can't put out of there. That's Google Sheets. That just tells you this is row 1, row 2, A, B. So this is cell A1, cell A2. Unfortunately, I'll have to learn how to hide those if I can. I get it now. All right. Or maybe I can just click on them so they're all the same color. In the 8th race, Charles, we've gone through how everything sets up. Let's go through our picks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the 5 horse. This horse, I think, has got the tactical speed to do what he needs to do in this type of race, because there's so many horses that might even try take the lead, could do it. So he could be one of them. If not, he's fine with that. Ran second last time out. You got Clement and Rosario combo. Great combo. And Clement gets 19% when you rest them up 90+ days. So you got a really nice fresh horse here. The 3 horse is another one that has some tactical speed. Won last time out. The trainer gets 23%, 46+ days. Saez is aboard. And then the 6 horse. The 6 horse is my third choice here. One last time out, Clement gets the 19%, like we said, with 90 plus days. Well bet last time out. And then the 7 horse is my final pick here. Drops in class today. It got some of the tactical speed, like pretty much at least half of the field does. Trainer gets 13% of 46 plus days off. Totally fits with this group, so makes him a little on the dangerous side.
So I see what you're saying. I just looked it up on Google real quick, Bob. It doesn't look like I can remove them, but what I'll do going forward is I'll move the program number to the left of the horse so that the numbers are to the left of the horse, and those other numbers, I can't do anything with them, unfortunately. So that'll be the adjustment we make, and I appreciate the feedback because I can understand how that would look like that's the 3 horse for sure. And what we want to be as clear as possible. I like the 5 horse here too. Charles was running against some pretty good horses over in France. It does have the top pedigree in the field as well. The 3 horse Bravo Kitten, maybe you shouldn't have been rated this high, Charles. A little bit of an overlay there. Could be the pace setter. That's the reason why I did pop it up in there, where 2 out of 3 horses have gone wire to wire. Has a couple of seconds in 2 races at Keeneland too. So, it can do all right with the track. And as far as turf is concerned, in the money, 8 out of 10. So a lot of things adding up to a good performance from Bravo Kitten. Broadway Boogie, that's 7 horse, tied for the top last race. Speed figure is going to drop in class here. And in doing so, if she can run back to the only race that the horse has had at 1.5 miles, probably would beat this field by a pretty good margin. And then finally, Lady Arsenault could have a shot to be forwardly placed with the top C-zone scoring here. Maybe going to drift up the odds board a little bit. Instead of being 6-1, let's maybe get 10 to 12-1 on that one. And again, close it out with a trifecta with the 3, 5, 7, with the 3, 5, with the 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those are all of our picks for the 8 race card today. Here they are on paper. Charles, the 4 horse won that first race. The 12 horse won the second race. Got the 8 horse in there, I think, finished third, and then the second, then the 16 finished third. Off to race number 3. You'll be back tomorrow when we do Keeneland once again. Charles, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here?
Yeah, yesterday was an interesting day, a good day for the Hall of Fame. Long awaited and overdue. Fernando the Bull Toro is now going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, and Nakatani is in the Hall of Fame also. So congrats to both of those jockeys. And I'm really happy, especially for the Bull, because he's waited a long time
to get in there. Yeah, well, congratulations to both for getting that a lifetime achievement type award. Certainly got to be an honor for both to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Again, tomorrow we're going to do Keeneland, same time. Charles and I will be back. Friday, big weekend of racing at Sha Tin out in Hong Kong. So myself and Tom will get together for Foreign Fridays. You should have joined us last Foreign Friday. We kind of struggled a little bit through the first 4 races that we did, but in the last race, hit a nice $625 exacta, not a trifecta, exacta. And in fact, if you had taken my top 3 picks and Tom's top 3 picks and put them in a trifecta box, that 50-cent trifecta, Charles paid $5,500. Let's see if we can get something like that again this weekend at Sha Tin. Saturday, myself, Charles, and Terry return as we will go through one of the biggest carryovers or a pick 4 someplace on Saturday. We call it Jackpot Saturday. See if we can hit a jackpot. Good luck to you, Christopher D'Souza, as well. Good luck to everybody today. No matter what it is you're doing, we certainly hope that God's grace shines upon you. Everything that you do, Charles, ends up in the
winner circle.
Oh, yes. Before I do that, one last thing today. Head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. If you're going to play the remaining days at Turf Paradise, I guess the track's going to close and they're going to turn it into condos or something from what I heard. So today's free track is Turf Paradise. Just click on the link there. And Magisterial is the top choice and the best bet in the opener, the 1 horse at 5-2. Of course, we'll be prepping, getting everything ready for the Kentucky Derby next week. Those wagering guides will be out. And you can get all of the Triple Crown wagering guides along with the Breeders' Cup for half price. So make sure you take advantage of that offer before it disappears. All right, Charles, thanks for putting us in the winner circle. We look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Till then, have a fantastic day.
See ya.